So I get asked this a lot, and I decided to make a video because this is Fun Friday, and I'm starting this theme where every Friday I put out a video that I think is fun, and it's not going to be like curated, it's not going to be about business, it's going to be random, it's gonna be random thoughts, it may not make sense, but it's gonna be fun. So what do I get asked a lot? A lot of the times I get asked why I am so happy.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm
I know, like, no one asks somebody like, why are you so sad all the time? But I get asked, why am I so happy all the time? And I'm beginning to think, maybe there's something in there. So I decided I'm going to make this video so that I can share with you why I'm so happy all the time, or why I think I'm so happy all the time. So the first reason why I think, honestly, that I'm so happy all the time. Oh, by the way, before I forget, hit the subscribe button so that you can get notified when I do Fun Fridays, because it may not come on Friday, it may come on Thursday, because I'm still trying to figure out my mojo for my channel. So I'm still trying to figure out the dates, like when am I going to post. I kind of want to do like a Fun Friday, but maybe it's gonna come like surprise Wednesday, you know, who knows. So subscribe so that you get notified when I come up with a video. But yeah, so the first reason why I think I'm usually happy is because many years ago I had an incident where I was literally about to die, and this is how many, like 20 years ago. So I was about to die, and I was in hospital, and everybody was around me and really worried. And my sister actually told me that she put a mirror under my nose because I was so still. So she put a mirror under my nose to see whether I was actually breathing, because she wasn't sure. And it was a crazy situation. I'll not get into the details of it, but after that, and after going through that situation and like going through, you know, the madness that comes from that, I now see the fact that I lived as a blessing and something to be grateful for every single day that I'm alive. So I don't start my days just thinking to myself like, oh, you know, this is another day, I've got to do da da da. I really start my days, and even if I don't remember to do this all the time, at some point in the day, I'll just be grateful that I'm alive, that I'm in good health, that, you know, like I'm fed, like I'm fine, you know. And that really just makes me grateful, and I'm really, really grateful. Like, I'm not kidding. I know this situation happened 20 years ago, but I'm really grateful that I am still alive to fix some of the problems that I have caused in my life, or find solutions, or inspire people, or start a YouTube channel and start a business, and, you know, like do stuff, you know. So I'm really travel, some of the things that I really love to do, but I'm really grateful that I am alive. Like, I'm not kidding you. So that's, I think, one of the reasons that I'm happy, is the fact that I'm alive and I'm grateful for it. And the other day I was watching this video, conversation, long story, but somebody shared a video about the butterfly kid. If you don't know about the butterfly kid, I suggest you look for the YouTube video on the butterfly kid. I think it's done by BBC or somebody, and it's about this kid who's born with this thing where his skin is super sensitive, like so sensitive that touching it causes a bruise. Like, this kid is called a butterfly because the wings of a butterfly are so delicate, and that's how delicate his skin is. Like, it's crazy. This boy is in pain all the time, and he's probably about 12 or 14 or something like that, and I cannot imagine what it would be like to live under those circumstances. So yeah, so it gives you perspective when you see somebody in so much pain especially at such a young age, and then you complain about traffic, or you complain about, you know, something like so and so didn't call you back, or, you know, this is happening, somebody said something bad about you, you didn't get as many likes on your post as you expected. You know, it kind of puts life in perspective. So I really like, those are the things that make me grateful to be alive, to be in good health, to be fine. And I must say, like, I am so happy because I have the opportunity to really like live each day as a, for me it's as a gift. So yeah, so that's the first really big thing for me. And the second thing is blue walls. Okay, well, I don't know how true this is, but I suspect that there is something about blue walls. I must say, because I've never painted my house. Like, I've always lived in houses where the walls are cream or white, you know, kind of thing. And my previous place was the same way. So the place that I'm in now is a place that I designed, or rather, like, yeah, designed after I came from South America. In South America, Brazil specifically, Brazil houses are so colorful. Like, the outside of houses, like, one house is blue, one house is yellow, one house is red, like green. It's just really amazing how colorful houses are, and it's colorful on the outside and on the inside. And when I came back, I decided I'm going to decorate a house, like I'm going to do up a house in colors. And interestingly enough, that hammock that you see there is from Brazil, and it's from my time in Brazil. And that's another thing that I really loved about Brazilians, is how, like, they're just cool. The way they decorate their houses, they have hammocks indoors at the balcony. They're just chill people. Like, it's really nice. And Portuguese sounds really interesting when somebody's hitting on you in Portuguese. It's just it's interesting. I honestly couldn't get over it. Like, there's this guy who, you know, he was cute, but I just couldn't get over his Portuguese. I used to stare at him and I'm like, it sounds like you're singing. It's very interesting. But I guess, you know, but yeah, Brazilians are just flamboyant and they're interesting people. And when I came back, I decided, you know, I think color is actually a good thing. So I did a couple of things, you know, painted the place, picked the colors. Some of the colors didn't work out as I expected, but it turned out actually greater. But every single room in my house is more or less, is actually a different color. Living room, the bedroom, my office, like everything, because I work from home, my office, the corridor, the bathroom, the guest room, like everything's a different color, which I really like. And then I even did, if you can see up there, like those lights are, it's lights. I would stand up, but but the lights there, I made those. Like, I got spray paint and sprayed them red, and I just wanted like lots of color in the place. And I think it does contribute to how you feel, because it's hard to walk into my house at the end of the day, no matter how bad your day is, and then you see blue walls and you're in a bad mood. Like, it just feels, like, hey, it's like everything's okay. It kind of does cheer me up. But you have to be careful how you decorate, like what colors you use. I'd read that if you paint a room yellow and you stay in that room long enough, you'll go crazy. So color is important. I don't know how true that is. Fast food restaurants apparently paint their walls like Wimpy. Does it still exist? Okay, I don't know. But if you're if you're from the generation that knows about Wimpy used to be red and white. That color is specifically for fast food. Apparently, like, red makes you eat faster. So that's what they need you to do. Like, eat, get out, so that they can use the table for the next customer. So that's the thing about color. Like, color is important. How you paint, the colors you paint your house, the colors you where like stuff like that cheers you up. I mean, you cannot be in a red dress and be in a bad mood. At least I haven't been able to be in a red dress and in a bad mood. There's just something about color, the vibration, there's something in there. So if you're thinking of painting your walls, I suggest that you get an interior decorator to advise you, or you Google, like color meanings, feng shui and stuff like that. And because I am a coach and I train entrepreneurs on digital marketing, one of my students is actually an interior designer. So if she gives me permission, I'm going to include a link for her business or her contact or some way for you to get her in this video, because she is brilliant. Like, I'm not kidding. When I build a house, she's the one who's gonna do my house for me. So she's that brilliant, and I'm not saying this because she's my student. I think she's brilliant. So that's another thing. Another thing is, and I think this is super important, is that I'm doing what I love. Like, absolutely doing what I love. I am not kidding you. When you find the thing you love to do, when you find your purpose, the thing that's supposed to help you touch other lives, create an impact, spread your word, your message, when you find that thing and you're doing it, it's hard not to be happy. So previously, my life hasn't always been like this. Like, I've had ups and downs, so I'm not by any regard trying to make it look like I've always been happy in my life and everything's been hunky-dory. It hasn't. And it's not to say that I don't have bad days. I do. Like, I really have some days that I will pop open a bottle of wine and drink in the afternoon because I'm just like, that was a bad day. And I need something to cheer myself up, so have a glass of wine and watch Netflix and just try and forget that the day happened. But that's something that I do periodically, not often, and it's something that I do with the objective of getting myself out of a funk. So that's another thing, like having a thing or a couple of things that you do to get yourself out of a funk. So another thing that I do is I walk. I don't live far from town, so I literally walk to snow cream because I really loved snow cream growing up, and I love ice cream until today. So I walk to snow cream and I get myself ice cream and I indulge like nicely in ice cream. So that's another ritual. Like, sometimes you'll get into a funk, but it's important for you to know how to get out of the funk. And it's important that you know, like, I'm in a funk. Avoid people. Don't make decisions when you're in a funk. Don't talk to people because you might spread your funk. Just kind of spend some time alone if you can, and this includes toilets. Like, just tell your family you're having diarrhea and you're spending a lot more time in the toilet. Then carry your favorite joke book and just laugh your heart away, or find a YouTube video that's stupid and that will make you laugh, because laughter is a pattern interrupt, and that's really what you want. So that's like my fourth tip. But I was talking about the third tip. I was talking about the business, like doing something that you really love. I have a friend of mine, and he's been successful in his business. He's in construction, and he's done real estate actually in construction, but he's done really well for himself, and he's one of the happiest people that I know. Like, really happy. And I'm not talking pretend happy, I'm talking like joy comes out of his pores. He's just like really happy because he's doing something he loves. So there's something about doing the thing that you love. If you love what it is that you do, there's something about it, because you go to work every day feeling like you're contributing towards something bigger, like you're making people's lives better, like your business matters, like your life matters. And that's something really important, because a study was done where they discovered that most people who retire die within, 5 years of retirement, because to some degree sometimes people feel like now my life doesn't matter because they attached their career to their identity. and you really want to be able to, if that's something that you've done, you want to be able to step back and ask yourself, who am I, what am I here for? And you may not always get the answers immediately, but asking yourself those questions really helps. So that's something that you want to sit down with yourself and figure out who you are, what are you good at, what can you monetize, like in terms of your skills. If you're not doing what it is that you love, like what is it that you would do for free? The other day I met a friend of mine, and she was telling me how much she loves the thing that she loves to do. Actually, how much she loves the thing that she was not doing, that she eventually, after our session, she said, that's something that she's going to end up doing. But she just said, how I knew she loves it, she said, Jacqui, I could do this thing for free. I don't even need to get paid. I just need to express myself in this way. She absolutely loves it. And I was so happy to hear, because you want to do something that you love. So if you're not doing the thing that you love, if you're doing a thing just because of money, you want to sit back and look at yourself. And yes, maybe your circumstance right now may require that you do the thing that you don't love, so that it gets you to the thing that you do. But you have to be working towards the thing that you do love. It can't be that you're telling yourself that you're going to do, you love this thing, but it's just there, and then you never go into it, and then you continue to stick in your career or this job, or you take up this sales gig and you hate to sell, or you're in this corporate job and you hate politics, or you're in this government job and you hate corruption, and you're busy complaining every day, but you're not doing anything about it, and you're not working towards the thing that you love to do, the thing that makes you happy. Because I believe that the thing that makes you happy, the thing that brings you joy, is the thing that you were brought here to do. It's the thing that will change lives. It's the thing that will change your life and the lives of other people once you figure out how to do it. And it takes a lot of introspection. It takes peace time. It takes switching off your phone and listening to your inner voice. You can't do that when you're busy hearing dings from your WhatsApp messages and emails and answering phone calls and telling the person, "Takpikia." Like, that's not gonna work. You need to sit down, phone off, no notifications, silence, and listen. And that brings me to the fifth reason why I believe I am happy. I meditate every day. I literally, I'm looking down here. I have a cushion of, let me just show you. Yeah, right there. So I have a cushion of that I sit and meditate on. Let me straighten this thing up. That I sit and meditate on every single day. And sometimes, it's not always there. It could be different spots, but I was sitting down earlier and meditating, so it's there. But I literally meditate every day. And part of the reason why I meditate is because, one, I want to be able to manage my mind. Because your mind can go off key. Like, your mind can run and literally take over your thoughts and run your life. And okay, maybe not so much let me call it your negative side of your mind. It can take over and create this untidy environment for you. So you want to be able to control that. You want to be in charge of your thoughts. You cannot be in charge of your thoughts if you do not have moments when you're silent, not praying and asking for something, but just listening, just being silent, just listening to your voice. That inner voice of yours, that voice has a lot of things to share with you, but it tends to be a lot like a whisper. It doesn't speak loudly. So it takes time for you to develop it, and it takes time for you to learn how to listen to it and to be able to separate your inner negative voice from what I call the voice of God, like the voice that really tells you about the direction you should go, your purpose, all these things that you've been looking for answers to. That voice, that it takes introspection, and it takes silence for you to be able to listen and to hear that voice and to understand that voice. So the reason why I said not prayer is because whenever, most of the times, I don't know your praying style, but most of the times people, when they're praying, they're asking for something, they're dialoguing, but not listening. But if your praying style is one of listening, great. But what I mean by meditation is just being at peace, just being silent, focusing on your breath, so that, not emptying your mind. You can never empty your mind, by the way. So if you are told meditation is about emptying the mind, that's not true. Meditation is about stilling your mind so that you can process things. It's almost as if like 1 minute you're at, just imagine you're at Kenya Power. Well, no, that doesn't work these days. We don't really pay postpaid bills at the Kenya Power offices, but let's even assume that you're at an office where it's due date and everybody's coming at you and they're throwing all these papers at you, and you're really, really busy, and it's like, oh my goodness, you can't even see which one you stamped, you're getting the change wrong, it's so busy. There's that, which is what normally happens in our minds when we're thinking about different things. You're driving and thinking about, hey, did I lock the house? Did I switch off the iron? Did I do this? What are we making for dinner? Did I call so and so? Oh my goodness, I didn't send that email. I didn't do that thing I was supposed to do. Oh my goodness, my friend, I haven't talked to so and so in such a long time. Like, there are all these thoughts, to being able to process them one at a time. So you now have one thought. Hey, I didn't call my friend Carol. Should I call her now, or should I call her when I get home? Then you make the decision. Call her when you get home. Then park that. Then continue watching. See the traffic. Think to yourself, is there an easier route for me to use? Maybe let me use a different, an alternative route. So it's your processing one thought at a time. And that's really, I think that's one of the things for me that makes me really happy, because I'm able to focus and I'm able to process one thing at a time. And how this has helped me in my business as well is that I'm able to focus on a task. So if I need to solve a problem for a client, like, best believe I'll be really good at it, because everything will be off and I'll get into the zone and the flow, and I'll fix this thing and I'll work on it, and at the end of it, it will be beautiful. So that's something that meditation is something I totally encourage. It used to be one of those things frowned upon in the past, but these days every single successful CEO, especially out there, I know, in Kenya we may still frown at it because it's looked at. I mean, my mother will watch this video and let me tell you, when it comes to meditation, she's usually like, she doesn't want to say anything, because I know, her view about it is that it's not great. She thinks I've fallen into Buddhism, and that's another story for another day. But when you look outside, when you look at the CEOs, the more successful CEOs, I mean, look at Steve Jobs. Like, Steve Jobs went and spent time in India meditating, and in his book, a lot is written around his spiritual practices, and it's not just him. But a lot of really successful CEOs, like actually every successful CEO, and some of the ones I know who don't talk about this, they spend time alone. Whether it's on the golf course, playing golf like on their own, not talking to anybody, whether it's taking long drives where they don't answer any calls, whether it's getting to the office an hour earlier and just spending that time on their own, whether it's meditating, whether it's spending time in silence, taking holidays and just being in silence. Yeah, sorry, my throat, saliva went down the wrong way. And these days when you cough, it's so funny, like everybody moves from you. The other day, actually over the weekend, I went hiking and I sneezed. It was so funny, like the rangers we were with moved away from me, and I'm like, man, these guys are used to dealing with elephants, but as soon as I sneeze, they're like so it was really funny. Anyway, hopefully that's gone. But yeah, gosh, I've even lost my train of thought. Yeah, meditation, that was the thing. Like, people, most of the people who are successful really do spend time in introspection. And I'm calling it meditation, but really it could be you could call it introspection, you could call it you time, whatever it is that you do to be introspective, to listen to that inner voice. So it doesn't matter whether you've got 14 kids around you. There's a lady I read who used to, her form of her time, she had like 7 kids, and all of them were like do re mi fa sol la ti do, and her way of being able to spend some time alone when she wasn't in the shower, because sometimes she'd go into the shower and just lock the door, and sometimes she'd just be in the kitchen and she'd put her apron on top of her face, and like the kids knew that if mommy's apron is on her face, do not talk to her, and she'd just sit there for like 2 minutes. Like, it doesn't, it's whichever format that you want to call it, but just that time that you get to spend alone, that's really important. So yeah, I hope this inspires some ideas in you. That's the reason why I'm sharing it. It's very personal. This is not stuff that I've shared before, and it is not easy to share a lot of this personal stuff, but I'm going to get more comfortable doing it. That's why I even decided I'm not going to wear my glasses. I'm just going to talk and be with you in the camera and have you see me, and whatever, man. It's just the thing that I'm going to be doing more often, sharing, because I hope this is going to help change someone's life, inspire somebody. And I think on YouTube, in terms of local Kenyan content, we have a lot of stuff that's just like slapstick, stupid. I've been watching, doing my research and watching some of the videos out there, and I'm like, where's the quality stuff? Like, where's the stuff that makes you think? Where's the stuff that actually gives you something that will help you? And that's what I want. Like, I want us to create more content that is going to be useful. And I know humor is useful. Like, sometimes I watch those videos to make myself happy, but it's not all the time. Like, you need stuff that's really going to help move the needle in your life and in your business. So I'm not for making those stupid slapstick stuff. Maybe one day I'll make one, I don't know. So let me not say ever, never ever. But yeah, that's not what I want to make. What I want to make is something that will be useful to you. So I hope this video was useful to you. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And share this with a friend, because I know when you share it with your friend, we get to spread the love and we get to spread the joy. And that's what I want for us. So do that, and I will see you at the next one. Yay! Here's to happy times!